All right, everybody, welcome back to Thicker Liquor. I'm with Ricardo from Siblings React and Drink. We got a special show today because we're going to try out all the best that Basil Hayden has to offer.
Good.
Let's get into it. Alright, so we're back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me over.
We have a lot of interesting stuff here to talk about and go over. These are the Basil Hayden collection. So we have your standard Basil Hayden, which we've tried and I've tried, and I know you like the rye stuff. And then there's this new one that's the Basil Hayden Toast. And then this is I think the newest of them all, which I haven't tried yet. The red wine cask finish, which we'll talk a little bit about each one. I printed out some stuff, and we're going to give each one a little bit of a sample and a try. So I think the way it works is like this is the smoothest. This one has a little bit more something to it. That one's going to be interesting because it's got red wine. You know, I mean, look at the color even. It is just clearly red. And they do a pretty cool job with the bottles too. You know what I mean? Everything is like really fancy with this stuff.
That's
so
an actual belt.
It's an actual belt, a little metal
buckle.
band on here. It's really neat. It's almost a shame to throw these things out. I hate it too. Look at these are the old ones. The rye. They had these.
Yeah, I remember that. The paper thing.
That was dressed up, and then they switched over to the label, which looks pretty cool too. So not bad, but. For me, it's inside that matters for these bourbons.
Absolutely.
The smoothness of it, and let's give it a try. So, like the regular Basil Hayden, regular straight Kentucky bourbon, this is what they say. I like their slogan too. There's nothing like the first sip, or any sip that follows. Yeah. So let's see what they say. Look, aroma: charred oak and sweet notes of vanilla and caramel, with hints of dried fruit.
Okay.
Taste: charred oak flavor that is complemented with sweet brown sugar, a touch of black pepper, and dried fruit around it. What are you getting?
First of all, it has a little bit of a bite. When you first try it, but
that first one.
But then all the flavors start coming. Yeah.
And I haven't drank today at all, so this is a clean
first shot for today.
It is pretty smooth though. Like
it is.
It's like you're not like, ooh, I'm making a face or anything. I think this is a great, and I did a video on this about beginner bourbons. Like this is probably your best beginner bourbon. It's only 40% alcohol. It is a Jim Beam product. These are all Jim Beam. And I don't know, did Jim Beam start these companies? Did they buy out this company? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know the history behind it. Of course, they say it's theirs. But where did it come from? I mean, the regular Jim Beam that you get, it's not always it doesn't compare to any of this stuff.
Right. It's much better, yeah.
It's much better. I mean, this is like
artful aged.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to put it.
I mean, it doesn't even smell like it has any like hard alcohol in it.
Don't need a chaser. Don't need mouth is not burning.
And we're drinking this neat too. We're not even drinking on ice, where it'd be nice and smooth and watered down. So that is pretty good. I think so. All right, let's try this now. This one, Toast. I've only sampled a little bit, and it was great. I couldn't wait for you. I was just too anxious
you already started.
Try. And here's what they say about it: aroma, toasted oak. Now, the toast, I guess the toast is the burning of the barrels. That's what makes...
The burn the barrels, okay.
That's apparently one of the guidelines for making bourbon is it has to be in new charred oak barrels.
Okay,
They flame torch them, and that's what gives the nice dark color. So this one's interesting. They call it Toast, but it consists entirely of new brown rice mash bill. So it's a whole new mash to make this whiskey. Secondary finish in toasted barrels, less spice, more sweet caramel. So What do you think?
Yeah, just smelling it, it's, I mean, this one's stronger smell to it. And this is a little bit more.
And that's the weirdest thing, because I swear, as these bottles progress, I usually figure that they get like more bite to them as they go. This is the first time where something like toast or oak or whatever it is, it's actually smoother than the original of it. Really amazing.
Well, from the smell of it, it seems like it's going to be very smooth.
Wow, look at that. Look how smooth that is. That's like you could just...
Tasty, you know, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit milder.
It's
I guess,
just milder.
Let
me see with the old guy here. Yeah, it's like milder. It's bizarre because, you know, what do you guys think here? Let's see the color. It looks exactly the same. Yeah. Something about the toast, I would have thought, because they kind of have it looking like it's fire or something. Like, I thought it would just have more bite. And when I tasted it last night, I was like, oh, it's because I've already had a couple of whiskeys. Maybe I'm not tasting the bite on this one anymore, but that's not even the case. It literally is bar time, drink time, and it literally
Happy hour
with that. So, all right, this other one we got here is, this is the last one.
Put this over here.
The red wine cask finish. So, is this going to have like a red wine taste and be smooth like this, or is this going to have a red wine taste?
Oh, look at the label. So, like, stain with wine, like wine stain. It's pretty interesting.
It is. I like it. So this is what they say.
Want to try it?
A special release, partially aged in Californian red wine casks.
California. Here we go.
Toasted brown and amber hues. Cherry nut, vanilla. Let's find out. Ooh, it's got kick, man.
It's got a kick, but it doesn't burn. You know, some of this stuff it just burns you. You need to get your beer chaser or whatever you're chasing it with, water. You don't need that.
Wow.
Over ice, perfect. So this one has wine.
Yeah.
I think I do smell.
I do smell the wine. Like
wine.
It took me a little bit to like smell it. I had to have something in like my palate, and now all of a sudden I'm smelling it, like my sinuses or whatever. But we got the ice maker making noise.
Oh, that's what that's. Like, what's going on? Is it raining?
Yeah, I don't know. This one to me is
strong.
Like this one is far out.
This is very this is mild. This is definitely.
That's certainly the best one. And then we got this one here. It's a rye. It's not a bourbon like the rest of these. Man, I can't get over that one. The smell on that. But the kick. I mean, so that's your progression.
So other than wine, what else does you have? You said vanilla and...
complex levels of charred oaks with a delightful mouthfeel. Apparently that's a thing.
Mouthfeel?
Mouthfeel. Really, all they just say, I think it's just regular this, and then they put it in the wine barrels to like give it the little extra taste. But the wine barrels give it kick.
I think you said it's not, they don't do a long aging process, right? It's
yeah, no, that's not the 10-year aged one or whatever. It's probably the same. I think just putting it in the wine barrels is just going to give it that extra kick. Yeah.
I like it. This was very smooth.
That's very smooth. And then lastly, we have the rye. This is a dark rye. What they say about that is...
I'm sorry, you said it's still a bourbon? Or
no.
Not when it's rye,
that's
right?
It's a rye whiskey.
Okay.
Versus the bourbon whiskey. Kentucky straight rye whiskey. It all has to do with the number of corn. The bourbon whiskey has to have at least 51% corn, at least, so like the more corn they use, the more bite it has.
Right, okay.
That kind of thing. But the rye, it's a whole different thing. They use these high ryes, low rye, I don't even know. But it's a little bit more complex, and it's obviously got more bite to me than the bourbon. But let's check these guys out.
Okay.
So, And I know you like the rye. You were a rye guy.
I had rye before, and I kind of like it. Yes.
So here they put in this blend. It's a blended Canadian rye whiskey. This is funny, like Kentucky straight rye whiskey blended with Canadian rye whiskey.
Okay.
This is an international whiskey, and they put port wine in it.
And port wine. Okay.
From Portugal. If you want to know where port wine comes from.
Super international. Then we got Portuguese, we got Canadian, and American.
Yeah, hey there. You know, man, this one
Here's
you can smell the wine. It almost smells like wine.
Here's to our Canadian friends.
Our Canadian and
north.
Portuguese friends. See, that's real smooth, but it just tastes like wine.
It's different. Yes. Yeah, it does taste like wine.
Tastes like wine. This would probably get you messed up because you just taste like you're drinking.
I like port wine.
Yeah,
I had
sweet.
port wine. Yeah, sweet.
It's an aperitif or whatever, an after dinner drink. This will probably settle your stomach too. If you got like a little bellyache from eating too much food, like the port wine helps kind of break that down a little bit, and I think this would do it. Do a lot of other things too.
That's our opinion. We're not licensed doctors.
We're not doctors or or alcohol specialists.
We don't even play one on TV. But yeah, it's
Man, the smell in here is crazy though.
wine's
Right?
always good.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's
this is smoother
different.
than this
Very different. Yes.
because of the wine. Right? It's interesting.
Yeah, they definitely taste the wine.
So we're in agreement here. This is the smoothest one.
Yes.
Which I'm surprised because I always thought this was going to be the smoothest one. And then this is next smooth, but it's almost not even the same because it's more of like it's wine almost. Although it is 40% alcohol, that makes a big difference. This is a lot smoother than this, and they both kind of have the whole red wine thing going on.
Yeah. Well, that one has actual wine, or is it?
No, they just said it is a blend with wine.
Okay.
So it's watered down.
This one's the wine cask finish.
Right.
I
So
guess,
that one they just put the bourbon into those barrels for a little while and
California wine.
California wine, exactly. All right, you like it? Well, let's go get some ice and we'll get some of this on there.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna work this guy tonight for a little bit, but this thing is really catching me here. I really enjoy this one, for certain.
Yeah, you're not fond of rye, but
No,
I
I mean
this one was pretty good.
it is a Basil Hayden, so that's they already know that it's a smooth product. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Enjoyed it.
All right.
All right, very good.
You heard it here first.
You heard
Thicker
it.
liquor.
And thanks for coming by. Don't forget to check out his channel, Siblings React and Drink. They also drink and they review all kinds of good stuff. It's a lot of fun. And
React to movies, react to Game of Thrones. We're reacting right now to, well, we're almost finished, reacting to House of the Dragon and some other stuff there. We make it fun.
they make it fun. Go on there, make your comments, get your thumbs up in your channels and everything else. And don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. Catch you next time on Thicker Liquor.
Goodbye.